This video will show you how to replace the rear door, power window motor, and window regulator on a Pontiac Grand Prix. This will be mounted inside of the rear door. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started with our job. With the door in the open position, let's focus along the inside door handle. We're going to remove our circular bezel. For this, I'm using a plastic trim tool. You're going to find you have a locking tab in this area here on the top, and the same thing down along the bottom. We're just gently prying away. We'll pull on the inside door handle and slide that out of place. We can see our two locking tabs along the inboard side there. Those look good. We can set this aside. Now let's make our way down to the grab handle. We're going to remove the plastic cover using a small pocket screwdriver. There's our locking tabs. With that cover out of the way, you're going to find that you have two circular ports. There's one here and there's one on the far side. Inside of each of these ports, you're going to find a 10mm headed mounting bolt. Go ahead and remove those bolts. Now we're going to start dislodging the door panel from the door itself. There's a couple things to think about. We do have an electronic window switch which will have wiring leading to the backside. Once we separate the door panel free from the door along the bottom, we'll have to carefully start pulling it up and away from the top. On the top, we have our door lock knob. I'm using my plastic trim tool. Now let's have a look from the back side of that panel. We're looking for our window switch wiring harness. We have an electrical connector. We're going to have to dislodge that. Now for this, I like to use a small pocket screwdriver as a prying device. You can also do this by hand. It's just a little bit harder. As I'm prying on that, I'm also pulling that electrical wiring harness down and out of position. No corrosion there. Now that we have the door panel out of the way, let's start removing the vapor barrier. Be aware of the butyl tape making its way around the entire edge. It is sticky. Don't get it on your clothing. We're going to pull this whole vapor barrier out of the way. We'll give it a quick inspection and we can set it aside. Now that we've taken down the weather barrier, it's time to reconnect the window switch. We're going to have the key in the on position once we've done so, and we're going to carefully power the window down so we can gain access to the hardware that holds the window glass to the window regulator. To do this, I'm reconnecting my window switch. Now once you've done that, go ahead and turn off key power and disconnect your window switch. As you can see, we have clear view of each piece of hardware. We're loosening each of these bolts just enough that the clamp holding the window glass in place can break free. 10mm for these. So now here's where we have to take hold of the window glass. We're going to lift it into the fully upright position, and we need to make sure we hold it there. Now this can be done with a specialty tool, or you can use something as basic as masking tape. I'm going to be using some masking tape. With that held in place, we're continuing on with the disconnection of the window motor. Sometimes you'll find the electrical connector will be down tucked inside of the door. Other times I've seen it before where the connector actually connects onto the motor itself. Either way, find the connector and disconnect it. You can see mine tucked down in this area. So as for this electrical connector, we do have a locking tab. I'm using my small pocket screwdriver. I'm just pressing in on that tab and I'm going to gently separate this. A thorough inspection on each side for corrosion, of course. This looks good. On my application, I do have a wire tie holding my wiring harnesses together here, so I'm just going to cut that wire tie and dispose of it properly. Now there's 3 pieces of hardware for this window regulator. We have one mounting nut inside of this area that we'll be loosening but leaving in place. We'll make our way down. There's a second bolt here, and then down here, there's a 3rd piece of hardware. So we're starting at the top here. Like I said, I'm just loosening this nut. I'm going to leave it on the window regulator for now. 10 millimeter. Now let's make our way down. And now on to the last mounting bolt. That one mounting nut that we left in place will prevent this from falling. Now I'm going to carefully reach inside of the door. I'm taking hold of the window regulator. I have to lift it up. Inside this area, where the mounting nut is that we had loosened, there's a stud, which is part of the regulator. This has to slide out of place. We're pushing it out and away from the door. Now we can remove the window regulator through the large port on the door. There it is, friend. Before we install our brand new part, let's make sure we clean and inspect the mounting areas on the door. I'm just using a clean rag and some glass cleaner. You can clean your door any way you deem fit. Essentially, we're just making sure there's no damage. This looks good. All right, let's get ready to install the window regulator. There's a couple things that we want to pay attention to. Up along what would be the top of the window regulator, we have the small stud. It came with a brand new mounting nut. We want to make sure that this is in the loosened position. This will have to slide in the door. Other than that, we're paying attention to where the window glass would slide into. We have the 2 small clamps. Make sure each one of those is loosened so the glass can slide in between. 10 millimeter for these. All right, let's go ahead and get this in the door. As we slide it in, we're being extremely careful for any pinch points. We need to align that upper mounting point first. There we are. Now I can tell that I do have that in the proper placement. My window regulator is not falling down, so I'm continuing on with my next 2 pieces of hardware. Once we have both of those started in, we can snug all 3 pieces of hardware and make sure it's secured in place. Let's go ahead and tighten it down. Let's just make sure it's secured in place. Now at this point, we're going to take hold of the window glass. We're going to remove anything holding it up, and we're going to carefully start lowering it down. As we bring it down, we need to make sure the window glass aligns with those 2 small clamps of the window regulator inside of each of those 2 ports. I'm holding pressure on the glass. Just a couple light taps on that window glass, driving it down until it's fully seated inside the window regulator. Double check each one of the clamps, confirming it is properly around the window glass, and tighten each piece of hardware holding it in position. Make sure it's secure. Before we go any further, we're going to take hold of the window glass. I'm going to attempt to lift it up and confirm it does not come out of place. Now we're moving along to our electrical connector. As for this electrical connector, our window motor has the connector portion attached to the motor. It does not have that long wiring harness. We're going to align the locking tab in the proper placement and press it into position. Audible click from that, double check, make sure it's secured in place. One last quick inspection in this area, we can reinstall our weather barrier. As we bring this over, there's a couple areas that we want to pay attention to. There are alignment points for the weather barrier. You have one circular port up along the top here, and you'll have one down on this lower edge here. Looking at the weather barrier itself, it does have small areas that would press into those 2 small ports. I'm just aligning it, I'm pressing it in towards each port. As I align it, now I can go ahead and stick this to the door. It should be in the proper placement. Make your way all the way around, confirming that it is sealed. All right, let's get ready to install our inside door panel. Now I have the door panel turned so I can see the bottom portion of my window switch. I'm going to connect my electrical connector. We're aligning the locking tab. We'll press it in. Audible click from that, and it's secure. Now, as we bring the door panel over, of course, it needs to be in the proper positioning, but you're going to find that there's several locking tabs making their way all the way around the door panel. We need to make sure the door panel is properly aligned and secured. Of course, as we bring this over, we also need to make sure we install the door lock rod in the proper positioning on the panel itself. So we have the port for that door lock rod. Now we're bringing the door panel towards the door. I'm attempting to align this. Once it feels as though everything's aligned, I have to tap it in all the way around. We'll continue on along the grab handle. We have 2 mounting bolts that need to be installed and then the protective cover. As for my mounting bolts, I like to start them into the socket. Now I'm going to guide them inside of the port. Make sure that's tight. Repeat the process for the other one. We're making our way up to the inside door handle. We have our protective bezel, 2 locking tabs, and of course the port for the handle to slide through. Pull on the handle, slide it through the port. Align the locking tabs with their corresponding areas inside the door on that inside door handle and press it in. Double check to make sure it's secured in place. Now with the key in the on position, let's go ahead and test the functionality. Perfect. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.